Once again, Germany's reputation for efficiency and technological excellence is on the line. Stuttgart's new railway station, which was originally planned to open in 2019, now won't be completed until 2031, meaning that it's taking twice as long to build as originally planned. Oh, and of course, it's also going to cost 3 times the original estimate. The fact that yet another delay has been announced is not all that remarkable because the project has been beset with problems since day one. It's the reason for this new delay that has turned this farce into an even bigger farce. About 1,000 kilometers of newly laid cable will have to be ripped out again and replaced. How could this even have happened? Let's just back up a bit and remind ourselves of what the project actually is. Basically, Stuttgart's main central railway station, Stuttgart Hauptbahnhof, is at the moment one big terminus. That means that trains can only enter or leave at one end, the northern end. This is quite an inefficient type of station. Trains have to change direction here, and trains entering or leaving the station quite often get in each other's way. Also, trains approaching from the south have to go halfway round the outside of the city just to get to the station. The basic solution is pretty simple. Replace the terminus with a through station. This is a much more efficient design and means, in theory, that you can halve the number of platforms and still be able to handle more trains. The problem is that this means completely rebuilding the entire rail network in and around the city. And because of Stuttgart's geography, it also means putting the new station underground and building miles and miles and miles of new tunnels. To make matters even more complicated, the new station has been built with innovative new architecture of a type never before attempted. Visually stunning, but very difficult to build, and so delays were always going to happen. But this time, it's a simple mistake that's responsible. And the only reason this mistake was even possible is because of an earlier simple mistake. In order to work as intended, the new station needs the latest in train protection systems, ETCS, which instead of using traditional trackside signals, has computers on the trains themselves. Now, obviously, for this all to work, all the trains need to be equipped with the necessary onboard receivers and computers. But that's okay, because ETCS is a European standard. That's the whole point. All that's required is for all the various operators in Europe to be given 5 years' notice so that they have time to ensure that any trains they send on these new lines have ETCS installed. And so the first mistake was to simply forget to tell all the freight rail operators in time. This was probably just a simple administrative oversight, but it had far-reaching consequences. With the project already massively delayed, the decision was taken to hurriedly install new signals alongside the ETCS system. The company responsible for the train control side of things is Hitachi Rail, a division of Hitachi which is based in London and which manufactures something like half of all the rail signalling infrastructure in Europe. So Deutsche Bahn ordered all the new signals and all the new cables that these signals would need. And exactly what happened next is a bit unclear, because while Deutsche Bahn is blaming Hitachi Rail says that their contract forbids them from making any public statements about the project. But it seems that Deutsche Bahn got on with the process of installing the new signals right away, likely because there was so much pressure not to move the deadline yet again. And they did this before confirming that they had the right stuff. In fact, they hadn't even completed the planning process. What they have now discovered is that the cables they have just laid are incompatible with the signals. Somebody ordered the wrong cables and nobody thought to check. The result is 450 new signals costing in total about 45 million euros, and they can't be used. So, thank you for watching, and for something a little bit more positive about Stuttgart's public transport infrastructure, try this video just down there.